It is May 1st, 2017 in Guymon. We just had a blizzard yesterday. It has the 28th and the 29th with rain, ice, and snow. The ice storm in January did not do the amount of damage to trees and poles that this storm has done. We got an update from Tri-County last night that CEO Zach Perkins had said in a video update that they had found 250 broken or down poles. There's lines down everywhere. The panhandle has pretty much lost electricity. We're driving around right now just to kind of give you an idea of what we're facing with a lot of the cleanup efforts. A lot of people had just gotten cleaned up after the ice storm. It took a while because there was just the sheer amount of debris from trees that had come down. Took a while to get rid of. They had declared a federal disaster. The county was working on making sure that all that got disposed of. Cities were participating in a lot of that. And now they've got a whole new mess to clean up. We had hoped to get this done before Pioneer Days. Slack got canceled today because of the weather. And usually we like to make sure that Guymon is really cleaned up, looking nice. And we don't have it because it's a mess again with everybody coming into town for the season. People are cleaning up their yards and limbs. The leaves look like they've been chewed up. They're scattered all over the ground. They're ripped apart because of the rain and ice. In some instances, in one instance that we saw with the reader, her carport fell on her car and busted one of her windows open. In another instance, a reader posted a picture, before and after pictures on our Facebook page, that she had a metal building out her backyard shed, and limbs fell down out of the tree onto the shed and completely destroyed it, flattened it. We're taking 5th Street down and going past Thompson Park. I'm actually looking north away from the park at the moment. There won't be as much damage down by the park, but photos we've seen, the lake is pretty well full past its normal capacity, just barely. It's not flooding out, but it's high at the moment. This is heading out on the edge of town toward the airport. You can see there's still a lot of ice and slush in the ditch out here. Got a lot of work that the city's going to have to take care of out there too. That's the airport. Overnight, anybody who didn't have power restored ended up spending the night without power because the ditches and stuff where they have to get, the snow was so wet and heavy, the crews couldn't work in the dark. It was too dark, too muddy, and too dangerous for them to head out. Some folks are already getting started on cleanup, trying to get the stuff out of their yards. Where we're looking at a lot of down poles and stuff happen more out in the middle of nowhere where you don't really have a windbreak. So when that snow's coming down and it's wet, it's sticking to the side of it, and the wind is automatically freezing it to the side of the pole. So you've got one side of the pole that's just covered in snow. And you got the wind not getting stopped. It's pushing on this pole that's already got too much weight on it. We got a lot of snapped poles throughout the Tri-County Electric Cooperative region. Cimarron County got hit worse than we did. It may be several days before a lot of people in Cimarron County find that they have their power restored due to the fact that a lot of transmission lines got taken down. Attention, you've got some crews, electric company crews, out working on the side of the road, restoring poles and lines. They've been busy, they've been running quite a bit. I'll try to get some over here. You can see Tri-County's got a lot of equipment out working on these. Yeah, you can see poles laying down on the road. We're going to have to turn around. We've got the street closed for the work crews. We're taking a moment to thank the gentlemen. They're out working hard on our lines, and they've been out for hours on end all weekend long. Working long, hard hours on stuff I know I wouldn't touch. Trying to get people's power restored, trying to get the system repaired. I don't know how well we can see it here, but you can see where some lines are still hanging low. They're a mess at the moment. Alright, we're going to turn around. That's how fast they're working. My driver, my husband, he was out earlier, and those poles were laying down. They were busted. And they've already, in a couple of hours, gotten those back up. That's just a couple of crews working on that. You got a couple of trucks. You got some guys on another vehicle getting the stuff to hang the lines from taken care of. They're doing an excellent job getting us back up. At my home, we lost power just before 7 a.m. We got it back a little after 5 p.m. We were some of the more fortunate along the line because Tri-County was able to repair the system enough to restore power inside the Guymon city limits. which we appreciate greatly because it was very cold yesterday and it did get cold overnight. After the blizzard blew away, it warmed up enough for things to start melting, but only just a little bit before nightfall came and everything refroze. See a lot of the houses with more trees around them. They're really having to clean up some messes. Here's a TCEC truck with poles headed out. Here's a bucket truck that's going past. We appreciate them because they've been out since the sun came up. And they're dispatching from Hooker, where they're able to store their vehicles in garages, so they're not iced down when they head out. They send those repair vehicles, they're ready to go. Here's a fence, one of our favorite fences in town. It took some damage. This is the oaks. For the most part, it appears that they fared well. Their trees are still a lot younger, haven't taken a whole lot of damage. We're headed on to Sunset Drive. And here we've got quite a bit of damage right out in front of somebody's house, evergreens. And for some it was just a couple of small limbs, others went down pretty hard. The ice storm in January hit when we didn't have any leaves on the trees. The snow stuck to the leaves and really hard, and we ended up with a whole lot more branches from trees that hadn't fully recovered from the January ice storm breaking apart. Here's somebody who lost some limbs. Got quite a pile of down branches and limbs over here.
Guys working on the roof.
Up there working. A lot of people took the time today to get out and clean up. After the ice storm, the city of Guymon opened up the transfer station to allow people to drop off limbs they have to be tied down and tarped. And one of the things is you cannot leave limbs in the dumpsters because it causes problems with the trash trucks. They can get caught over the top and prevent trash from going in if the trash guys don't know that it's coming. If they don't know it's in there and it causes problems, it can end up making a mess in somebody's alleyway. And they can get jammed up inside the compactor in the trash truck. And it can cause maintenance issues that cost the city a lot of money to repair. And the city also does not, they ask that people not leave their down limbs in the alleyway next to the dumpsters. It causes access issues for the men picking up the trash. And also, the city does not have the manpower to go out and gather up the sheer amount of limbs that are out there and get it cleaned up. They don't have the manpower or the funding. They also don't have the equipment. They have one chipper that works okay for parks to use to do cleanup. Citywide, it's not going to last that long. There's one with rooted up. See a group of trees over here. They've lost quite a few limbs. Yeah, let's go by that one. Some more folks loading up limbs on a trailer, get them ready for drop off. The city did open up for free dumping for limbs and such. I think 3 different times. And then last weekend they had just had a citywide cleanup day. People were dropping off and got torn up pretty good. That's part of the reason why the city tries to get people to take their dead, rotting trees down, because it can fall over and it might not land on the ground. Looks like some of the feds around the police department got knocked over some of their trees and torn up too. You can see the carnival's getting ready to set up over here for Pioneer Days. Just a small portion of we're in the central part of town. There's some pictures of some of the damage from the south side of town on our Instagram page. And then we do have the reader submitted photos on Facebook. If you scroll down a little bit, we asked for photos from readers and they sent them in to us. We appreciate everybody that sent photos. This storm rolled in just as Guymon High School was about to enjoy prom. They had to cancel the promenade walking in where parents and friends and family all take pictures of the students going into prom. which can take a while if you have enough people walking in. And it got sped up quite a bit, and students were brought straight to the front door and had to go in because it was raining, cold, and windy. We're headed into downtown Guymon now. And there's Braden, one of our favorite people. TCEC, they took out generators to different locations to try and make sure that people kept their services up. Here we are passing Guymon Daily Herald office. We had a couple roof leaks. This has been a wetter than normal season for us too, so that's been fun. You can see the house is right next to the newspaper loss and branches. Let's see, over here we've got a couple of down limbs. People who've just given up on their trees. They don't, after a couple of seasons of getting beaten up, the trees just don't hold out anymore. You'll see some that look like they barely got touched, and some yards are just took a lot of damage.